Please count to 5 and
Okay. Hi, good evening, dear friends. Welcome to our weekly vigil. This is Efrat from Jerusalem. I would like to share with you the two main subjects that really on the agenda now here in Israel. The first one is the hope for returning of the hostages. It calls a deal, which is a very difficult word when we talk about human life. We call it a deal, but this is how they call it. Each side, Israel and Hamas, each one blame the other side of not agree. But it's a lot of tension here because it seems like something happening. And from the other side, the government brought back to the table the judicial revolution. This big issue that was till the 6th of October when they want to change the justice system. Down the road, if this will succeed, it will be actually the end of Israel as a democratic state, which is a huge tension now. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello. Yes, with all this upheaval happening here in Israel, I am trying to figure out a wide picture of the happenings of the time in the Middle East, focusing nowadays on the burning ground of Syria. Who and what are those inner and outer influences on this burning ground, on this playground? Who are the powers involved, and what are the interests, and what are the agendas at stake? It is not clear. So much is said those days, and so much is revealed. And I am not able to distinguish any comprehensible agenda of the powers involved. So I'll just stick to what I can grab. So please take it as so. The forces of the revolution, who are called also the rebels, they're part now of the Syrian Transitional Government. They're called the HTS, Rebel Group, the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS. In the past, they belonged to Al-Qaeda, extremists, Islamists, that were recognized by the Western world then as terrorists. And this group has seemed in Syria to have switched from a jihadist discourse to a national one over the last years. So this is good news. They declare that they don't want to engage in new conflicts. Now they are in this transitional government, yeah. So they don't want to engage as this government in new conflicts. neither with Israel nor with the Russians who are still on their land. They want to communicate with Western countries. They want to normalize relations with Turkey. They declare that they have no hostility towards the Iranian people. And what happened is a lesson on the dangerous Iranian political project in the region. They promise to respect minorities. They promise to respect Christians, Druses, Kurds, and other minorities I'm not aware of. So lots of goodwill is expressed by people who need to rebuild their autonomous identity. Syrian political exiles who escaped the regime look at this phenomenon both with hope and doubt. From their vantage point, they see that it demands a huge change on the part of the Syrian people and their complex makeup. But it also demands a huge change, according to those political exiles, a huge change on the part of the Western world that views the Arabs and Muslims as a security threat rather than as human beings with the same rights as any other human beings. So our world has been influenced by the happenings of the times and also the labels that have been given to those groups. So genuine changes in attitude remain to be seen with time. So this is what I can grab of what is happening in Syria now, because I don't understand much of the political games, yeah, but something about the ambiance of the people there, from what I hear. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Helen and Efrat, to bring us this ambiance, to ground us and set the stage for our work, meditative work, witnessing and holding space for the hope, for that you called goodwill, Helen, for this to develop, and for this huge change that the Middle East is invited into. Yeah, okay. So let us start our meditative work. Taking a deep breath. And just settling into our own inner calm, letting go of the outer noise and the inner noise. Just being with ourselves for a moment. Touching in with this inner peace. And from this place, let us join together. Let us reach out to each other, becoming aware of our presence, of this work that we are doing here together, and also of the many other people doing similar work. sensing the power of the heart behind this impulse. And the will to peace. And this recruitment, inner recruitment, to be part of the Ajna center of the planet and learn how to become causal, how to make a difference as a world group. And as such, as part of the one planetary server, let us attune now with the higher co-workers who guide this specific work. Standing with us. And we open our group heart for their inclusive love, bringing our group heart into resonance with this inclusive love, with this grace. And bringing our group mind into resonance, into receptivity to their higher vision, to the light of discernment. We take our place at the midway point between our higher co-workers and our field of service, the condition on the ground in the Middle East. Turning our eyes now towards the Middle East, West Asia, just observing, getting an overall sense of this area, mainly Arab Muslim, and from the midway point, let us get a sense of the wider context, what's playing out here in this area as part of the wider upheaval and opportunity within humanity now. Focusing in on Syria, to where the violent conflict now has shifted. And getting a sense of these different forces playing out there that have been mentioned before. Local, regional, and international, all interwoven. Letting go more and more of any judging, even of any sense of knowing what's going on. Just observing and discerning how all this is shifting. Let's take a moment to focus on the mental plane, on these mental forces, these different ideologies, religious and national, these different agendas, and how they engender emotional forces that are then channeled into this forceful dynamics. Just being the witness, the silent watcher. And now, from our midway point, let us turn our eyes upwards now towards the divine plan, towards the intended design for West Asia, being in the presence, in the protective presence of our higher guides and co-workers. Just taking a few moments in receptivity to the divine plan for the Middle East. Now, holding this, our impressions of the intended design in our group awareness, and at the same time, holding the condition on the ground as it is at the moment, and bringing these two together, bringing them into relation in our group awareness, the potential and the actual. And visualize energies flowing between them, between these polarities. As above, so below. Holding this polarity, see and sense a shaft of pure golden white light, broad and brilliant, Flood, West Asia. See a huge column of light pouring through all planes. And we hold this column steady in the will to peace. See soul light flooding the mental sphere of the Middle East. And visualize the mental forces in the area slowly aligning to an inclusive vision. Every human life is sacred. We need to make it work together. See soul light pouring into the emotional sphere of the Middle East, soothing, opening hearts, towards trust and hope again. And see the light pouring through into the etheric physical plane, penetrating into the earth, touching further these ancient patterns of separativeness, and entitlement, seeing these old patterns disintegrating, seeing this transmuting process underway so dynamically within the entire pillar of light on all levels, in all these different groupings. And sense this shift of consciousness that wants to take place. Putting our weight behind that. Holding this vision of this shift of consciousness wanting to take place, even as we recognize that the energy of conflict must play itself out. And we invoke the higher forces to help this transmuting and releasing process. We reach out to the Lords of Liberation and we visualize them pouring their energy through the pillar of light that we are holding, destroying that which is old, releasing, liberating, And we stand witness to this process of destruction, holding our deep respect for all who suffer in our heart. And hold in our awareness the picture of this conflict playing itself out to a good result, to eventual harmony. Holding this visualization of this solar plexus intensity, slowly lifting, shifting, redirecting towards the heart. Let us hold this intent as we say now the great invocation in Hebrew and in Arabic, and hold it throughout the week.
מנקודת האור אשר בדעת אל, יזרום האור אל דעת האדם. ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת האהבה אשר בלב האל, תזרום האהבה אל לבבות אנוש. ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. מהמרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות אדם. תכלית אותה מורי האנושות יודעים ומשרתים. מהמרכז אשר נקרא המין האנושי, תוגשם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון, ויחדשו אור אהבה ועוצמה, את התוכנית על פני האדמה. אמן.
من نقطة النور في العقل الإلهي ليشع النور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض. من نقطة الحب في القلب الإلهي ليتسرب الحب في قلوب الناس وليرجع معلم الكون إلى الأرض. من المركز الذي تعرف منها إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية التي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها. من المركز الذي ندعم بالجنس البشري لينتج تسمين الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به الشر، ليجدد النور والحب والقوة التسمين على الأرض. الله أمين.